They try and take us down to the pit. Phones and fast cars, the life that they want to live. How you forgot about block struggles and feeding kids. Fuck the Africans, I look at low cuz, you can see his ribs. Cops got the streets hot, we can never chill. The starvation is real, streets fuck with them pills. Sipping all that molly water, they done group deals. The meek shall inherit the earth and we want meals. How you making all this bread, tithing you lacking? How you became a trooper and now you be slacking? You threatened the camp but failed to get it cracking. You passive aggressive, aggressively be passing. Speaking with verbs, ain't never been in action. Hell will never lift a white man allowed to walk. Try and drop his body, outline it with chalk. My ex-bitch be on my page, definition star. But I treated her right, so failure wasn't my fault. I wonder about the old days, nigga run with the old yeah. She turned me turn on my music for her, that's the foreplay. Getting out the hood is really only 4 ways. Niggas know jail, niggas know the grave. Niggas know ball and music to get you paid. But who the fuck knew about you? It's special and perfect, but I'm still stuck in the hood. No longer doing bad, claiming I'm selling good. You're crying for your mama strung out on them drugs. You sell them in the hood, they not white as a dog. Word to surf, they more body brownish. You done sold enough crack to string up the township. You can't fuck with an ounce of my 16.
They tryna take me out. They tryna take me down. But I won't let them. No. They tryna take me out. They tryna take me down, but I won't let them. The enemy to the black man in America. It's like you walking around with a target on your back. You waiting at the corner for the bus. They assume you selling crack. I got a gap, Mr. Officer screaming where your hands at. They ain't never happy unless they foot on your neck. Brothers looking for an end of poverty in the corner store scratch off. They wonder why we prone to snap off. This head will have you turning green like the hope ready to smash off. Here I come Scotty, push the button, about to blast off. It's no secret, my people are lost in the sauce. The only solution is that you PK and become a boss with a true identity. Yahweh, my brothers, the they tryna take me out. They tryna take me down, but I won't let them. No. They tryna take me out. They tryna take me down, but I won't let them. No. They tryna take me out, but I won't let them.
Home of the truth, we take off. Don't like what we say cause they soft. If they ain't with it, then stay lost. If they make up a group, it's a break off. And we don't do unity camps. It's only one body in Christ. We follow these laws. Endure to the end that we sacrifice. Every day we working, exposing these lies and false teachers. Hell yeah, we gon' talk about it. Blasting the truth through these loudspeakers. You niggas just acting like bitches. Only care about riches. Give a fuck about your feelings. You're killing our sisters. And I can't forget to mention you niggas are snitches. Got us fucked up. Y'all niggas just talk tough. Acting like y'all about shit. Y'all really need to shut the fuck up. UPK, we warlords, we take ground and we here to stay. Get rid of the get gone, fucking break off y'all in the way. Let me tell you, we ain't gonna let no fake Israelite group, no unity camp. You understand? No fringes on the shirt wearing motherfuckers tell us what the fuck to do, man. Y'all sitting here letting heathens in your group killing our sisters, man. You ought to be a goddamn shame of yourself, man. We ain't gonna stand for that, man. We're gonna continue to speak out against that. We ain't going nowhere, man. You ain't gonna run us off no block. You understand? Under normal circumstances, I would have a whole nother verse on this song. But see, these ain't normal circumstances. These the type of circumstances where everything needs to be addressed, man. Everything needs to be put out on the table, man. A mirror needs to be put out in front of you niggas' faces, man. y'all can see what y'all. That's the only way this shit gonna get resolved, man. That's the only way we're gonna be able to sit down at the table. You gotta get rid of your pride, man. You gotta repent from your transgressions. You gotta come together, man, in one body. Now, Isupk is the home of the truth. The Isupk is that one body, man. So now, what you gonna do? You gonna barbecue? You gonna meal? Do, man? You gotta make a choice. I pray you understand.
Hear the hunger in my voice. They used to tell me to speak up. The problem wasn't what I was saying, they couldn't keep up. Instead of moving around with some patience, they tried to speed up. It got colder than a bitter bitch. Found me a way to heat up. What's a favor for a favor if we all didn't make it? Everybody just gonna change. I ain't get cause I ain't feel like I made it. Couldn't picture me here now, but here's your moment to frame it. And I ain't never I've been trying to play cool, but that ain't gonna pay the bill. Out here looking like food. Home of the truth. Y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get green. When y'all trying to make the news, I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play cool, but that ain't gonna.
Hey, Shalom. Y'all Bashim Y'all Shah Brakathum. Y'all Shema Bashim Y'all Shah. Salaki for the hold up. Man. Salaki. All right. We're gonna get into it, man. The topic of today is terrorists in World War III. This is a topic that's very popular in what the world calls Israelite culture. You understand? This topic is so important because if you were in my last class, then you would know, you understand, that this place is our hell. Matter of fact, you in any Isupk class, you will know that this world that we live in, this society, this age, you understand, is our hell. This is our slavery, our captivity. And one day, there's going to be a day where we're free from this captivity. You understand? And I believe last week I read in the Bible, matter of fact, this was 2 weeks ago in the Bible, that the world is no longer going to talk about God freeing the Israelites from Egypt, but one day everybody's going to talk about how the Lord freed the Israelites from the north. And I made the connection that the north is talking about North America. You understand? And everywhere else that Israel was scattered. If you tuned in, please hit like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Which helps out the channel. You understand? These lessons that we learn here are lessons that they don't teach you in church. They just want you to keep going to church and paying them your tithes, but they never crack open the Bible and show you what's really in this Bible. You understand? So that's what we do here in the Isupk. And we're going to talk about terrors in World War III. So first, let's go to the book of Job, chapter 18, verse 11, because right now, that's all you see in the world today. Terrorists. You understand? The president gets shot. You understand? Mass shooters everywhere you look. It's always a mass shooter. You understand? 9/11. What's going on in Palestine and Israel. All of these are terrors. Everything that's been happening, really since 1969, in my book. Since 1969, when the Lord sent his truth back into the earth. Well, I won't put it like that for some folks, right? When the Lord made the truth more prevalent in the world, because for a time the truth was not prevalent. You understand? So in 1969, the Lord made the truth more prevalent by sending his priests and prophets in the Isupk to wake up and start to realize the truth of the Bible. And ever since then, there's been terrors and destruction. And before then, there's been terrors and destructions. We're going to talk about the 3 world wars. You understand? The 2 that have passed and the 1 that's coming up. The Bible calls it a woe. And there are 3 woes written about in the book of Revelations. We're going to get that as well. But right now, we're going to go to the book of Job. So if you got your Bibles, I'm reading the King James Version Bible. If you don't know, in Isupk, we read the King James Bible, typically the 1611 version, which includes the Apocrypha. I'm trying to get the book of Job real quick. The book of Job. And we're going to go to chapter 18, verse 11. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. Understand? Why is it saying that the terrors? Who is the him? First of all, the him is your oppressor. The him is your adversary. The devil that the Bible speaks of. The him is any nation that ever came up against Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that ever enslaved Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that ever unalived Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians for their own sake. That's the them. And as you can see, man, everybody is being terrorized. Palestinians being terrorized, and they supposed to be the terrorists. I thought they was the terrorists. I thought that Arabs was the terrorists, man. But they're getting terrorized. Israel's getting terrorized. America's getting terrorized. China's getting, everybody is getting, Korea, everybody across the earth, the Russians, Ukrainians, everybody is being terrorized, especially black people. We're in that loop too. You understand? We are getting terrorized every day, but because these other nations didn't give a damn when we were being terrorized, the Lord is terrorizing them. Which is why in the hell would I be worried about peace in the Middle East when I don't have peace in my own streets? Like, we got beef that we dealing with right here in America. Black people don't get along with each other because of the block that they live on. But I'm supposed to be worried about Israel and Palestine? I'm supposed to be worried about Russia and Ukraine? That doesn't make sense. What you need to do is do a evaluation on yourself. Reality check on yourself. Where are your priorities? What do you really care about? Do you care about your people? Every year we see how people talk about some damn Black Lives Matter and Juneteenth. They want to celebrate Juneteenth and all this mumbo jumbo. But when it's really time to show that you love black people, you fail every time. Why are you putting a Palestinian flag on your profile picture when black people are dying right now? Bloods and Crips are dying right now. Babies are missing. Black babies are missing from their house right now. But you don't put up no flags. You don't protest. You don't do any type of call to action for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But you'll jump and skip and hop for any other nation. Which means that you need to give yourself a reality check. You need to check your spirit, because you're going to realize that you really don't like black people. You hate black people. You understand? Let's drop that. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20, real quick. Better yet, let's just get straight into it. Let's go straight into Revelation. We're going to go straight to Revelations. All right, because I don't know how long this is really going to take to cover. So let's go to Revelation chapter 9. We're going to start at maybe 3. Revelation chapter 9, verse 3. Book of Revelation chapter 9, verse 3. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth. All right, well, let me start that one. Shoot, might as well. And the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. Now, the star right here, right? If you go to the book of Isaiah, forget the chapter, where it talks about Lucifer, right? It talks about Lucifer, the son of the morning, and how he fell from heaven. You understand? Now, this heaven is not talking about with the Most High. This heaven is talking about authority. This heaven is, that is what heaven is. According to the Bible, heaven and hell are conditions. They're not a place you go when you are no longer living. It's not the world of the afterlife. It's the world of right now. And here's the dynamic. If you're in slavery, if you're being oppressed, if you're being pulled over by the authorities and worrying if you're going to lose your life because of a traffic stop, if you are worrying if you're going to lose your children because you can't afford your bills tonight, if you're worried about if you don't have enough money to put food on your table tonight, you're in hell. If you are the one that's paying the check to those people that don't have enough to feed their children, if you're the one that's sending DCF to someone's house to take their children, if you're the one who put someone in slavery so that you and your people can benefit, guess what? You're in heaven. That's the balance of heaven and hell. It's not about where you go when you're not living. It's about where you are right now. And as a whole, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are in hell, right? And other nations, including the white nation, they're in heaven. You understand? They're in heaven. Why? Because they are in rulership. And they're fighting for more rule. They're fighting for more power. We're backing them. We protested for them so they can have more power over us. We're going to go and vote so they can have more power over us. We still gonna be in hell. This is what I don't understand about voting in the first place. Everybody want to vote Kamala Harris. Everybody want to vote Donald Trump. It doesn't change the fact that you are still living in hell. It doesn't change the fact that your people are still in hell. If you ever smoked crack in your life, you're in hell. If you ever sold crack in your life so that you can have $1, you're in hell. You understand? Voting is not going to change that. Voting ain't going to take crack out of your community at all. Show me when it ever has. There's never been a president in history that's ever taken crack out of the hood. But I'll tell you this, there has been a president that put crack in the hood. There has been a president to do that. So what is your voting going to do? Nothing. You're voting to keep a people in power when the Lord wants you to be purged from this place. The Lord wants you to be wants an exodus from this place, for lack of better words. You understand? Yeah, let's keep going. Verse 9, chapter 9, verse 11, right? Or where was I? Verse 1. And the fifth angel sounded, and a star fell, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. This is the same precept in I believe Isaiah, right? Let me see. I'm drawing a blank on where it is exactly. Isaiah 14:12. All right, so you can go and read Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. That's the precept of this. All right, better yet, here, I'll read it for you real quick. So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12 in the King James Bible. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations, right? So this is the same star, right? Why that the fact that it's calling him the son of the morning lets you know that this is the same star. It's not talking about an actual star. It's not talking about the twinkling thing that you see in the sky. You understand? It's talking about a prominent figure. That's what a star is. People don't understand that about the Bible. I'm basically giving you the whole entire Bible in one class tonight. All right? A star is not a twinkling object in the sky. Well, a star can be a twinkling object in the sky, which is a ball of fire. But a star is not a pointed star. It's not a shape. It's not a graphical figure, right? It's not some people call a 6-point star, right? Or 5-point star, 6-point star. Those are not stars according to the Bible. Those are stars according to Western language. That's what a star is. But according to the Bible, which is not written in Western English, it's not written in Western language, it's written in ancient Hebrew. And those stars, really, Salaki, I rephrase that, the King James Bible is written in Old Quaker English. Okay? And what a star is not what you think it is today. It's not a graphical figure. Understand? But a star can be a actual ball of gas that's in the sky, in the universe, or it could be a prominent figure, which is what we call stars today. You understand? LeBron James is a star. Michael Jackson is a star. You understand? They have the All-Stars every year for basketball sports. It's an all-star game. What does that mean? It means all stars are going to play on this team. It's not talking about the ball of gas. Ball of gases can't play basketball. All right? And graphical figures can't play basketball either. But a man can. And this, Isaiah 14:12 is talking about a man, and as well as Revelation chapter 9, verse 1. It's talking about a man. Okay, so and I saw a star fall from heaven onto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. You understand this smoke? What is this smoke representing? This smoke is representing the fires that are going to burn in America. It's going to burn across the entire world. These fires are going to be so thick that they black out the sky. Okay? And they're going to black out the sun. It's going to make the sky dark. All right? In the middle of the daytime, it's going to look like it's dark. We saw a glimpse of this in New York. I forget what it was that caused it. I think it was something, so a dust storm in Africa. A dust storm in Africa blew all the way over to America. And that's some biblical stuff right there. Like, how the hell is there a dust storm so massive and great that it blows all the way over to America? And in New York, you look up in the sky and you cannot see the sky because of this dust storm. It also happened during the Amazon fires. When the Amazon forest was burning, a lot of places in the world couldn't see the sky because of the smoke. It also happened. When else did it happen? I believe that bombing in Beirut. I believe. Oh, better yet, in New York, when the towers fell, it's nothing but smoke. You couldn't even see the sky because of the building, the dust and debris from the building and the ash. You understand? You couldn't even see in front of you. If you've seen the videos back in 2001, couldn't even see in front of you because there was too much ash and debris and dust in the sky. Well, this time it's going to be from smoke, from bombs, from nuclear bombs. You understand? But you can't even look up and see the sky. All right, let's keep going. and there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth. The locust right here is talking about, it's not talking about actual insects. It's talking about actually military vehicles. This is talking about military vehicles, and I'm going to prove it to you the further we go into the description. All right. The locusts, and there came out the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. A scorpion is also another military vehicle, which we'll explain. You understand? Now, real quick, the scorpion, here, I'm going to show y'all. This is what I'm going to do. I'm better than telling you, I'm going to show you. This is the scorpion. This is what it is right here. The scorpion of the ground. This is it right here. All right. Now keep in mind, John is having a vision. So in this vision, just like when we read in Ezekiel, Ezekiel was having a vision of a UFO, a so-called UFO. But unfortunately, because at that time there were not things that you could pull up on Google to describe, you know what I'm saying? Because you couldn't pull up on Google UFO and explain what he saw. You understand? He had to use what everyone did understand and what they did know. For instance, you know what a flying roll looks like. You know what you know what a roll of bread looks like. Now picture that same roll. Now picture that same roll flying in the sky. You understand? If you can picture that, then you understand what Ezekiel was seeing. Now, in this vision, this is a vision that John is having. John sees locusts flying out the smoke and a scorpion. Right, the scorpion we would know as the military tank. You understand? Here's a comparison. Here's your comparison right here. See how that stinger comes out the back and it's pointing at whatever is ready to attack? You understand? That's exactly how the tank is. The tank is able to just point at whatever it wants to destroy and sting it and destroy it. Okay, let's keep going. Now we in the book of Revelation, chapter 9, verse 2. If you don't know, okay. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing. Now, the grass and the green things are what? The grass and the green things are people. You understand? The grass and the green things are people. How do we know? Because all throughout the Bible, it always refers to people as trees and plants and green things. All right. Here's the precept. Precept is in Mark chapter 8, verse 24. It says, and he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. You understand? Now that's one. You also got, you got tons of scriptures that tell you that people are plants. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not literally plants, but we are referred to that in the Bible. Because the Bible is full of metaphors and similes, parables, and all types of stuff like that, because it's written by Black people. Who doesn't love a good metaphor than Black people? All right, so let's keep going. So the grass and the green things are people. It says, hurt not the people, hurt not the grass and the green thing. Okay, neither any tree. There it is. But unto those men, and there's the proof. Unto those men. It just said, hurt not the grass and the green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. Now the trees in the green grass are the Israelites. You understand? The Israelites, though, who have not taken the mark of the beast. I'm telling you, I'm about to teach y'all the whole entire Bible, everything that you ever thought you knew about the Bible. You're about to get corrected on. The mark of the beast is not a microchip. You understand? Because if it were, then you would already be marked. If you have a cell phone, I have a cell phone right here. You got a cell phone. This has microchips in it. You understand? And guess what I do with it? I put it in my hand and I put it up against my head. You understand? Well, it says, this right here says, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. I mean, I use my phone every day. It's on my mind all the time. You understand? I'm when I'm not thinking about it, I'm still thinking about it. It's subconscious. It's in your forehead. That's what the real forehead means. It's not meaning you got a mark right here, but it's in your mind. It's embedded in you. It's not talking about a microchip. It's not talking about your, if it was, it would be talking about your bank card. If you think a microchip is the mark of the beast, then stop using bank cards. Stop using your cell phone. You understand? Stop using computers. They all have microchips in them. And you always have them in your hand or on your mind. All right? This is not talking about a microchip. It's talking about the ideology of white supremacy, but I'd rather say of the Antichrist. But so you can understand it, the ideology of white supremacy, which is Christianity, religion as a whole. You understand? The idea that blacks, like dark-skinned black people, are better than light-skinned black people. The idea that white people are good, that you can be friends with them, that you can marry them, that you can have sex with white people when you're a black man, Hispanic, or Native Indian man, or a woman. You understand? If you think that, then you have the mark of the beast. These are things that you can remove, but the only way to remove it is by repenting. The only way to remove it is by saying, I'm going to serve God and no other God. I'm going to do what God says to do. If you celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving, and all these pagan holidays, you have the mark of the beast. You have the seal written in your forehead. Why? Because it's what, July? We almost at the end of July, and you're all you just celebrated the 4th of July, and you already have Halloween on your mind. Now you already have Thanksgiving on your mind, and we only at the end of July. Before you know it, you'll be celebrating Christmas. You already thought about what you're gonna get your kids for Christmas. You already thought about it. Half of y'all worrying about your birthday coming up. What you is a Leo? What's coming? I don't even know what horoscopes are coming up. You know what I mean? You worried about your birthday coming. It's sad season and whatnot. You understand? You have the mark of the beast. You. And it's not because you getting a chip in your forehead. Who the hell gonna get it? Who's gonna get a chip in their damn forehead? Who's gonna get a chip in their arm? Ain't nobody getting no damn chip in your arm. You was forced to take on Christianity. You were forced to take on white supremacy. And until you remove that ideology, you're gonna always have the mark of the beast. So only, let me read it again. It says, verse 4, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. Now, the seal of God is what? Is the seal of God a microchip? If the seal of the beast is a microchip, if the seal of the beast is a microchip, then what is the seal of God? That's what you have to. That's what you need to ask yourself. You understand? If anybody, tuned in right now, you can hit the StreamYard link. I put the StreamYard link in the chat. So feel free to hit that link if you want to jump in. Also ask your questions if you have any. All right, so if the microchip is the mark of the beast, then what the hell is the mark of God? Is it another microchip? Is it red pill, blue pill? What is it? You understand? The mark of God is also what you put in your mind and what you do. You understand? If you're going around teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that they are the Israelites and that they are to keep God's commandments, you got the mark of God. If you're keeping the commandments, you got the mark of God, because keeping the commandments is on your mind and it's in what you do. That's having a mark in your forehead and having it in your arm, in your hand. Salaki. That's the mark of God. And the mark of the beast is the opposite, which is the anti-Christ. Which is anti. Anti is contrary or opposite of. So if the mark of God is what you do and what you think, what you believe, your faith, then the opposite of it would be what? The faith that you have for the beast, serving in his military. Using his men. If you're a black woman, you go and get you a white man, and you have his babies. He used you to bring forth his babies. or you go and get with a black man and you abort all his babies. You understand? You have the mark of the beast. Let's keep going. I don't want to dwell on this too long. All right. So, verse 5. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. So even you're not gonna be not you, who's watching, but if you're the one that has a mark of the beast, you understand. The order is not to kill you. The Lord is not giving out the order to kill you in this time. In this time when this is taking place, the man who has the key to the bottomless pit, which is the devil, which is a man known as the devil, right? It's not Lucifer, it's not Satan. When I say Lucifer, I ain't mean to say Lucifer. It's not Satan, and it's not some being with red skin, horns, and a pitchfork. It's a man with red skin. You understand? It's a man whose blood shows through his skin. That's who the devil is. You understand? Mm-hmm. And his order is not to kill you in this time, right? But to torment you. And we're in that time of torment. We're being tormented right now. As I speak, my brothers and sisters are out there being tormented. I'm in this classroom. You understand? And it torments me to know that that's what's happening to them. This was happening all across the world with Blacks and Hispanics. It torments me to know that we can't have any type of freedom here. As much as we fight for it, as much as we vote for it, as much as we give our lives for it, it never translates to our freedom. You understand? And that's torment. It's torment to know how much you contributed to the wealth and success of a nation and have nothing to show for it. That's torment. It's torment that you have to live in poverty when you work 10 times harder than your oppressor, but he's 10 times richer. That's torment. All right. But that they should be tormented 5 months, and their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. You understand? Now the 5 months, don't look at time as linear as we do today. Like we look at time like, okay, we look at months like 30 days. The Bible God does not see time like that. You understand? The Bible and God, there's a scripture where it says 1 day is as 1,000 years to the Most High. Our time, our concept of time is not the same concept as the Most High. So don't think this is gonna be, well, damn, it's only been 5 months. That happened in 5 months. We ain't going through that no more. We're going through it right now. But it's a shorter time. It's a shorter time than how long it took us to get right. You understand how long it took? I mean, think about it. This was written in the Bible. This is written way back when. You understand? But it took from that time, from the time Christ was put on the cross to now. That's a long time. But if you think about it, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have only been in hard bondage for 500 years. Around 500 years. You understand? 500 to 600 years. All right. So it's in comparison, it's only been a while. It ain't been that long. So, but that they should be tormented 5 months, and their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. Verse 6. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die. You understand why? Because you're not being put to death. You're not gonna, this ain't okay. As a whole, we're not just being killed. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. Like, we still here. We still in this poverty. We still in this slavery. You understand? We still being tormented. Now, some of us die. Some of us die. Some of us are unalived and deleted like Sonya Massey was. You understand? And guess what? No, now, when I say this, please don't take this the wrong way, and no disrespect to Sonya Massey or any of our fallen brothers and sisters, but death is easier. And that's why it's saying right here that in those days men shall seek death. You want to die, like it's like, damn, like it would be better if I just died rather than being tormented, rather than being here putting up and dealing with this for years and years. It seems like an eternity. Why am I here? Why am I still? Look at your sons, black men, black women, especially. I want you to look at your children and see the life that they're living. Do they look like they're afraid to die? They are not. Your sons are not afraid to die. They don't fear death at all. They actually play with death. Right now, in this time, our young men, not even 20 yet, are playing with death. They rather, it's better. I'd rather die. I'd rather be unalive than to have to go through this hell anymore. So they got ops. Now the ops want to take them out. Now the ops, when they take them out, they want glory. And now they rub it in their ops' face. Like, yeah, I'm smoking on so-and-so. I'm smoking on him and her. You understand? Yeah, we did that. They making rap songs about the you know what I'm saying? They making rap songs about it. That's not the life of somebody who loves their life, who wants to live. Your children rather be unalive. They'd rather be deleted from off the face of the earth. That's what they'd rather have. They're seeking death. All right. And in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it. Meaning that it's not going to come to them. I mean, our end has not come yet. As a race, as a people, our end has not come yet. We would rather it. We just, you know what I'm saying? Why don't the Lord just take us all out? But it's not going to happen. Okay. And shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. Verse 7. In the shapes of the locusts. Now we get into the shape of the locust. I mentioned the locust. Well, the Bible mentioned the locust in verse 1 or verse 2, right? How the locusts are coming out of a pillar of smoke. Well, now it's going to show you the shape of the locust. The shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle. Now, if you know anything about battle horses have on them. I'm gonna see if I can find a good picture. You understand? Well, battle horses have armor plating on them. You understand? Usually that's where you get the unicorn from. The unicorn has a horn or spike sticking out of the front of its armor. The horse is wearing armor on his face and on his neck, down his back and all that stuff. And that horse is used for battle. So they will put spikes on the front of those horses, so that when they run into battle, they could jab a few enemies with their horse. This is all for battle. This is where the myth of the unicorn comes from, because these unicorns were originally horses with iron spikes on the tip, on the front of their armor plate. Let me see if I can find it. What is going on? Let me see. All right, here's a good example. This one doesn't have the spike that I'm talking about, but just so you can get it. All right. All right. Yeah, so just so you can understand, this is what I'm talking about. This horse right here. Let me make it bigger. This is an armored horse. Okay. So when it says the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, it's talking about the plating. It's talking about how this horse is prepared for battle with this plating on his forehead. Let me see if I can get another one. This is a good one. All right, here's a good one too. This is a 3D render of it, but you know what I'm saying. For all intents and purposes, this is what you would be looking at. This is what it's talking about when it says that the locust looked like a horse that was prepared for battle. It's because it's covered in armor. It's covered in iron. All right, let's keep going. It says, in their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. So now I'm going to show you what John is seeing in this vision. Because again, this isn't talking about actual locusts. It's not talking about insects. This is more like what John is seeing. Okay, this is it right here. So as you can see, it says, in their heads were as it were crowns like gold, right? The crown that you're seeing is right here. This crown is talking about is right here. It has a crown. It says, oh, I'm sorry, I skipped something. In the heads were like the crown, like, okay. And their faces were as the faces of men. These are the faces he's seeing. These are men's faces inside of this vehicle. John is seeing a military helicopter. Don't believe me? Don't worry, I'll keep reading. Verse 8. And they had hair as the hair of women. What is the hair? The propellers. That's the hair that it's talking about. If you see a helicopter sitting still and stagnant, you know what I'm saying, grounded, the hair, like the propellers, when it's flying, the propellers are straight out like this. But when they sit, they droop. You understand? It's kind of like hair. All right. So Ezekiel is explaining it the best way he can compared to what he's seen in his life. All right. So he said it's like a crown and it's like hair. And their teeth were as the teeth of lions. And that's what you see right here. Right here on this helicopter. Teeth. Like a lion's teeth. They actually drew this on the helicopter. This is the what's this plane called? The I'm sorry, what's it called? The Cobra. All right. This is called the Cobra helicopter used in Vietnam. All right, so let's keep going. Let's see if there's more comparisons that we can see. And they had breastplates right here. The whole armor of the helicopter is the breastplate. Now this ain't talking about no locusts. I mean, y'all want to see a locust? Let me show you a locust. This is what a locust look like. Let me show y'all what a locust look like real quick. Here's a locust. All right. This ain't talking about no regular locust. Here's the close-up of a locust. So this ain't that's not what this is talking about. This ain't talking about an insect. Insects don't wear armor. All right. But guess what? A helicopter does have armor. It has breastplates. The locusts don't have teeth like lions. All right. And they had breastplates, as it were breastplates of iron. And the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots, of many horses running to battle. So it sounds like a bunch of horses running into battle. What does that sound like? A helicopter propeller flying. It's talking about its wings. When it flies, it sounds like a bunch of horses running into battle. What does that sound like? It sounds like a helicopter. Sounds like a military helicopter. And I'll show you a better example. Here's an even better example, visual example of what John was seeing. I'm gonna start it back. I'm gonna start back up to where it starts talking about it, right? And the shape of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle. Right? So this is what it is. Again, the armor that the horse wears. Okay. In their heads were as it were crowns like gold. Here's the crown again. Here's the crown. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Okay. This is the crown. And their faces were as the faces of men. You can see the men's faces through the window. All right. And they had hair as the hair of women. That's what these propellers are. Hair is like hair, like the hair of a woman. And their teeth were as the teeth of lions. Now, this one don't have painted teeth. You understand? It don't got the painted teeth, but what it does have is missiles. It does have missiles and bullets like teeth that tear flesh like a lion. Okay? And they had breastplates. It does have breastplates. It is armored on the bottom. Like what? As it were breastplates of iron. Yeah, that's what you're looking at. This iron helicopter. And the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. Verse 10, and they had tails like unto scorpions. Let's go back to our other picture. There's the tail. There's the tail sticking up. It's coming from the back and then sticking upward, kind of like how a scorpion looks. Let's go back to our scorpion. Don't you see how that looks? Like a scorpion, like the tail of a helicopter. It just comes straight up. This part right here is like it changes angles drastically, just like a helicopter tail. Tails like scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. And look, there go the stinger right there. You understand? So this is what Ezekiel was. This is what John the Revelator was seeing. All right, verse 11. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit. Now, angel just means power. Like in this context, angel means power. It can also mean messenger. All right, but angels in this context is like power or God. All right, it's not talking about angelic beings with wings. This is talking about a man. Whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon or Abadwan, which means destruction. So it's not talking about an actual man's name. It's talking about this is the name given to him. How do we know that? Let's go to, we're gonna stay here. It's like it. We're gonna stay here, and we're gonna keep our bookmark on this. We're gonna go to John chapter 17 and 12. John 17, 12. All right, this is the book of John, chapter 17, verse 12. While I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name. It's like this ain't the John I'm thinking about. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, my bad. Yeah, Salaki. This is actually 2 Thessalonians. My bad. I got the wrong precept. All right. So 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and verse 3. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed. Now, what is the falling away? It's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians separating themselves from white supremacy, separating themselves from the beast, from America. You understand? Spiritually. Doesn't mean you have to get on a plane and go anywhere. It means that you have to stop believing in what America philosophizes. You understand? So you stop believing in the holidays that America keeps. Stop believing in voting. Stop voting for American president. Stop voting for America, period. Vote. Why don't you vote for Christ? Why don't you vote for a black man named Yahushua? Give him your vote. Cast your votes to Christ, man. Stop casting your votes to the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? Well, when that day comes, then the Son of Man will be revealed. I mean, it's like the son of sin. Who is the son of sin? Let's keep reading. So maybe we'll find out. Except they're coming falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Now, what does perdition mean? Let me give you the definition. Perdition, for time's sake, means destruction. All right, but I'm going to give it to you in the dictionary. Perdition. Better yet, let me give it to you in the Compact Bible Dictionary if it's in here. All right, perdition. Perdition, destruction, in each of the 8 uses of the English word in the New Testament. All right, it says the final state of the wicked is referred to in popular usage. Men make this word a synonym for hell or an eternal punishment, right? But in a nutshell, destruction is what perdition is. So when we go back to Revelation chapter 9, verse 11. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon. Abaddon in Hebrew is destruction. All right. Abaddon means Abadwan means destruction. You understand? You don't believe me? Let me give you the Hebrew concordance number as well, just so you can get your facts straight. You know what I mean? Because I'm not one to lie to you over here. I'm not one to feed you any false information, but by all means, do research what I'm showing you. Do your research. That's all I'm saying. Let me see. All right. Tell me. Shoot. All right, so we got to go to Hebrews 11 to get it, or Hebrews 10. So, like, bear with me. I'm gonna just track down this Hebrew word for y'all. If you have a blue letter Bible, this works very easily. You understand? Just go to Hebrews chapter 11. Really, you could just type in perdition, and it should bring you to it. Hebrews 11. Better yet, oh, I'm tripping. That's New Testament. Yeah, let me type in perdition. Perdition. Nope, that don't work. Okay, H11. Select. There it is. So H11, H11, which is the H stands for Hebrew in the concordance. You'll find it H11, which is Abadwan. Okay, and it means destruction. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So it means destruction. So the same star, the same angel that's over this bottomless pit, that's the king of the bottomless pit, is the same king or the same son of perdition written about in 2 Thessalonians. All right. It's the same person. And who is this person? It's the oppressor. It's Esau. All right. It's your oppressor. It's your slave master. That's who the son of sin is. He's the biggest sinner in the earth. All right. He is who's going to bring forth destruction. He is the son of perdition, which is destruction. He's also the king of destruction. He's the king of America. All right. He's really the king of the earth because America is the superpower in the earth. This is biblical. This is facts. This ain't opinions. This is a fact. If not, prove me wrong and show me where in the Bible it says otherwise. Show it to me. Who is he? How can you prove it? Because I'm giving you the proof. You understand? I'm giving you the proof. You can go and research it if you need to. You know what I'm saying? It's right here in front of you. You understand? When it said the locusts coming out of the smoke, just imagine y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all have seen movies. You ever seen a movie like, I don't know, like Independence Day, where they got like a plume of smoke or something like that, and the hero flies out of the smoke in a big ass helicopter like the one I just had on the screen. You understand? That's the one that's right here on the screen right now. You've seen this helicopter before. You probably seen it in movies. And you probably seen this helicopter in a movie. Shalom Nizam, Anna, the water sis, for joining in. You've seen in the movies how the smoke plume clears or how a helicopter just flies through the smoke. That's what John was seeing in Revelation 9. Okay, let's keep going. Verse 11 says, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. All right, which is the same thing. It means destruction. Verse 12, one woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. Now, what is a woe? Woe is destruction. And as we can see, there's one woe that is past and two more are coming, which means there are three woes, i.e., third world war. You understand? One world war at this time, well, in this prophecy, is past. And we're going to get to the second one. Let's go to Revelation chapter 11. Chapter 11, verse 14. All right. Verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can get some more on this. Let's go up to, let's start at verse 1. Verse 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood. So I'm in book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 1. Right? Just in case anybody was wondering. 11, verse 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, rise and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles. In the holy city shall they tread under foot 42 months. All right. And I will give power unto my two witnesses. And they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the two olive trees and the two candlesticks standing before the God of the Israel, standing before the God of the earth. Now, the olive trees represent the two nations, which is Judah and Israel. This is one nation in reality, but because of the split that happened, we split off into two kingdoms. And Christ talks about the grafting of the two olive branches. You understand? These two olive trees, again, like I said, trees are people. These olive trees represent Israel and Judah. Okay. The candlesticks symbolize the churches. All right. So verse 5, and if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their belly and devour their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them into blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. And then it's like it. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them, and their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. Now, what you have to understand about the Bible, again, parables, metaphors, similes. In this verse, it's comparing, I almost had to sneeze. It's comparing the place where the Israelites are now enslaved during this prophecy to Egypt and Sodom. Why? Because Egypt is known for its slavery, for having the Israelites in slavery. That's what it's most notorious for, which is why we read this is why we read 2 weeks ago that it's no longer going to be talked about how the Lord freed the Israelites from Egypt, because it was a great story. It was, this is the greatest thing that ever happened on the earth, and it all involved the Israelites being enslaved to the Egyptians. Egypt is synonymous with bondage or slavery, according to the Israelites. From an Israelite's perspective, and this is an Israelite writing this, from his perspective, Egypt is nothing but slavery. There's nothing great to him about Egypt. See, in today in America, because we suffer from white supremacy, we look at America as great for other things rather than slavery. But what made America great is the same thing that made Egypt great, which is slavery. And that greatness is relative, depending on who's looking at, whose perspective is coming from. If you look at it from the slave perspective, they're going to tell you ain't nothing great about America. If you look at it from the slave master's perspective, they'll tell you it's wonderful. America is the divine, manifest destiny, because they've gotten all their riches off of it. Even the other nations were able to get rich off of America and its slavery. So in comparison, the greatness is two different things. So it was no longer going to be talked about how the Lord freed us out of Egypt, because it's going to be so great how he frees us out of America. And that's what this is talking about. It's calling this place America, USA, spiritually Egypt, and then it also says Sodom. Why? Because Sodom was most known and notorious for its sodomy, or in other words, its alternative lifestyle. Men on men, men having sex with men, women having sex with women. That's sodomy, which is an abomination to the Lord. And that is what you see happening right here in America. In America, it was established that same-sex marriage is legal. It was established. It was historical. That's what happened here. But it didn't happen here first. It also happened in Rome. It didn't happen there first. It also happened in Greece. And it didn't happen there first. It also happened in Sodom. Okay? And in Rome, just like Rome and Greece fell, and also Sodom fell, and also Egypt fell, so will America. And that is what we're reading about right now. This is the woe that's coming. The third world's war. Now, I'm going to get to that. I don't want to jump the gun too fast. All right. And they're dead. And whose dead bodies lay in the streets of this city called Sodom and Egypt? Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. Our bodies lay in these streets. You understand? George Floyd laid in the street. Tamir Rice laid in the street. Trayvon Martin laid in the street. Our bodies hung from the trees. Us, that happened to us. Okay? This is how you know it's talking about the Israelites, and it's how you know it's talking about America. Where we at? Verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry. It shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. All right, so everybody else in the earth is happy to see that the Israelites are being tormented. They're being punished. They're being, they're content with it. This is why you don't see a change. This is why you cannot vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris to make a change. Why would anyone change something that makes them happy? Why would anyone change something that makes them rich? You wouldn't change it. You would make it so that to the people who are being tormented, it's not a big problem. It's no big deal. There's hope coming. Hope is what kills us. Hope kills Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? Mark my words. If you're a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, don't look for hope. Don't look for hope. Look for triumph. That's what we offer here in the Isupk. We don't offer hope. There's no hope here. What are we hoping for? Hoping things get better? No, things will not get better. Things are not supposed to get better. You shouldn't look for it to get better. Hope is what is killing you. Hope is what's keeping your sons on crack. Hope is what's keeping your daughters on stripping poles and on OnlyFans. Hope is killing us. We don't need hope. We need goddamn justice. We need triumph. We need the Lord to crack open the sky and put this place under fire. That's what we need. We don't need no damn hope. Let's keep going. So, like, where am I? Verse 11, chapter 11, verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them. Got that. Let me read 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Verse 12. Yeah, and it's gonna be just like that when Black people who are dead, who not dead literally, but dead in the sense of they don't have the breath of life. They don't know how to keep the law, statutes, commandments like it was written about in Ezekiel. You understand? The valley of the dry bones. They don't have just like Ezekiel was told to breathe life into these bones so that they live. Is the same thing that's happening to our Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian brothers and sisters who are considered Gentiles because they don't know God. You understand? They don't know the Most High God of the Israelites. They believe in white Jesus. They believe in the Greco-Roman holidays and all that stuff. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in Jesus. They believe in whatever their oppressor tells them to believe. But one day they're going to wake up, they're going to hear some crazy Negro on the street corner yelling to them that they are asleep, and it's going to wake them up. And that's what we see in right here in verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And the world is going to be in fear. They're going to fear. Like you think that you don't think that they feared Isupk. Like I don't know if y'all paying attention, but America is afraid of the Isupk. How do you know? Because why are we on the SPLC list, the Southern Poverty Law Center list as a hate group? Why have we ever lynched anyone? Have we ever burned a cross in somebody's yard? Have we ever committed any crimes or acts of violence unto anyone? No. Have we ever stood in the way of justice for anybody? No. We've never done that. Have we ever taken justices away from people? Hell no. In fact, we feed the homeless. We clothe the homeless. And we don't get nothing out of it. We don't get paid to do this. And we don't even discriminate when we out there. I don't know if y'all know that. We don't even discriminate. If you come out, if you go to 1628 Riviera Beach in Florida, and you go and ask them for food at the school in Florida, no one's going to turn you away, no matter what you look like, no matter who your father is. No one's going to say, no, you can't have food. You're going to get it. Because that's what it looks like when the righteous rule over you. It's what you need in your life, black man. It's what you need in your life, white man. You need righteous men to rule over you. You ruling over yourself is nothing but death and destruction. Everybody under you is going to die because you are the son of destruction, the man of perdition. You are a bad one. You are a bad one. Esau, you are destruction. And if you're ruling over everything, then everything's going to be destroyed. But we're on the Southern Poverty Law Center because you fear us. Every time you get pulled over, but listen, every time a black man is unalived by a cop, what does the cop say? Oh, I was in fear for my life. What the hell are you talking about? Was he armed? Oh no, I just, he was moving too fast. You are trained to keep your damn cool. You trained on how to use your weapons. If you feel like there's a threat, a non-lethal threat, then you use non-lethal weapons. That's what you get them for. You got a taser, you got pepper spray, you got a baton, you got a whistle, you got a light. You know what I'm saying? You got handcuffs, you got all of this tactical gear so that you don't have to take a life. But what do? You see Sonya Massey with a damn pot of water and you put a hole in her head. You just put a hole right in her head because she had a pot of water. Like, you fear black people waking up and coming together. This is why you outlawed the DAC during the Vietnam Wars. You understand? Y'all ain't know about that. The black people, we used to, what you call a DAC today, this thing where you bump heads, like we do it every day in Isupk. Every time I see a brother, I dap him up. Bump, bump, bump. You understand? That had a meaning. It still does have a meaning if you're in the UPK. But what black people saw it as DAP, dignity and pride. And what it symbolized, when you go up above, like when you pound downwards, that means you're not over me. And then you go over, when you go under and you pound under, you say, and I'm not over you. And then you meet in the middle, boom, we equal, we brothers. That's what that represented. Y'all don't even know the history of that. That's what that really represented. And then it's different, styles and, bumps and all that stuff that you could do. Well, would you believe that white America saw it as a threat? The military officers saw that fist bump and thought it was a threat. They were threatened by the idea that black people are speaking a coded language and they're going to plot what is it called? Insurrection. They thought this was a code of a insurrection. But when did black people ever give you the idea that they was going to pull an insurrection from the army? They joined the army. So why the hell would you think that they are plotting it? When has black people ever give you a reason not to trust them? When have white people ever given you a reason not to trust them? All the damn time. But yet they saw the power fist and the bumping of, the fist bump and all that stuff, and they saw it as a threat. They thought that black people were going to overthrow them in the damn military. So they outlawed it. They fear you coming together. And that's what we stand on. In the ISBK, we stand on brotherhood. We stand on coming together. And they hate it. They fear it. They fear it so much. You understand? They can't sleep at night knowing that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are unifying. It sends them tossing and turning in their bed sheets, thinking about it. All right, they can't deal with it. Where we at? Verse, okay, it says, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Verse 12, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to a cloud in heaven, and their enemies beheld them. Now, what is this talking about again? Last week, I talked about UFOs, or 2 weeks ago, I talked about UFOs and what they represent. And this is the depiction of what it's talking about right here. Descending up into a cloud. Just like you would see in Hollywood, how they depict those UFOs, quote unquote abducting people. And when they get put on, when the UFO come over and they shine that light down, whatever it's shining on gets lifted up. That's what this is talking about. However, this is not talking about a goddamn what they call it, a rapture. There's no such thing as a rapture. Rapture is not in the Bible. It does not exist. There's no such thing as raptures. Okay, what you are witnessing in this Bible is a quote unquote alien abduction, an angel abduction. You understand? Because those UFOs, so-called UFOs, are really the chariots of God, and angels are operating those chariots. And that's what just happened. It says, I'm gonna read it one more time. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, "Come up hither." So it's a voice coming out of the sky, and it's saying, "Come up here." All right. And now this ain't talking about dying. This ain't talking about being dead. Again, the precept is in Ezekiel, where it talks about the valley of dry bones. The people are here living, but they're dead in spirit. All right. And so when they get woken up, when they get put up on their feet, you understand? That's talking about having a stance of power. They have power now. They have the breath of life in them to be able to stand in the spirit of Most High. Now they're being took up into the clouds like a UFO coming over and taking them up into a cloud. All right. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. And our enemies are looking at us going up into this cloud like, what the hell? This is what you see on the screen is exactly what your enemies are going to see one day. And I'm going to prove it to you as we go along in this Bible. I still got a little bit of time, about half an hour. You understand? Verse 13. In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven. The second woe was past. Now, this is a prophecy. This is again a prophecy. You understand? So this ain't happened yet. Now, you show me where this has happened in the Bible or in history. We in the book of Revelation, so it ain't much time for it to happen. It ain't going to happen in the book of Revelation. It's going to happen in the earth. But you show me in the earth, in history, where this happened. It hasn't. All right. This has not happened. So, verse 14, the second woe is past. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right. So we got a third woe coming. There's two woes that have passed. And this is symbolic, representing the world wars. This third world war is going to be the final one. This third world war that we're going into right now, that you see happening all over the earth. Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine. Before you know, it'll be China and some more people. You understand? Korea teaming up with Russia. Everybody's teaming up. They're joining allies. They're allying up. Why? Because they know what's happening. They're making threats of a nuclear war every day. So I'm gonna show you further in the Bible. Hold on, real quick. Let me get it's Zechariah 14 and 12. Just show y'all real quick what we talking about, right? The book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. What does this? What on earth can do these things to where you're standing up and your flesh is just ripped from your body? Your eyes melt away in their sockets, and your tongue gets consumed away in its hole in your mouth. What can do this? I can show you better than I can tell you. Let me show y'all real quick. Put this on me. Y'all remember that scene from Terminator? See if I can play it real quick. I'm going to show you something. This is Satan. The devil knows the scriptures better than you. And that's by design. They studied this book. Your oppressor has studied this book. And in this book, along with the way to get rulership over the earth, also the way to keep you from getting rulership over the earth. Anybody in rulership, if you know anything about war, you don't want your enemy to rule over you. That's war tactics 101. You don't want your enemy to gain control over you. You don't want them to rule over you. So if you know what's going to that's going to allow them to rule over you, then you'll know how to stop them from ruling over you by not allowing them to get the thing that would allow them to rule over you. So we're about to play this video. See if I can play it. I ain't gonna play this down because, of course, copyrights and stuff. But everybody remember this scene from Terminator 2, 1991. Terminator 2. I ain't got much time, but I hope I can squeeze it in. Let me see. Let's get to the point here, right here. Yeah, this is the dream Sarah Connor was having. Everybody's just getting along. You got white kids playing with black kids. Everybody having a good old time. And she sees, but she can't do nothing about it. She see what's happening. She knows what's about to happen. What's about to happen? A nuclear holocaust. Now it's too late. She finally noticed that it's somebody calling. That's now, of course, that's her. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to warn herself. But look, now imagine that's black people. Imagine Sarah Connor is an Israelite, and she's Sarah Connor. As she's standing, her flesh is ripping away from her body. And watch this. This is the best part. Look at her skin. Found, gone. Nothing but bones left. But that's what the Bible's talking about. You understand? That's what we're reading about in Zechariah. Okay? So let's move on from that. We're going next. I don't got much time left, so let me go to what I want really bad. Let's go Matthew 24 and 38. Because this is what's happening in the earth, man. This is what's happening right now, is what's been happening. World War I was the first woe. World War II is the second woe. World War III is where it's going to be the end of all worlds, all wars, Armageddon. You understand? So we're gonna get Matthew chapter 24, verse 38. Or better yet, let's see, where should I start? 24, verse 38. All right, yeah, verse 38. This is Christ speaking. For as in the days that were both the flood, it's like that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage. Just like what you saw on the screen now, they didn't show you the marrying and eating and drinking, but it made it simpler. A playground. You understand? Everybody just having fun. That's what the point is. Everybody just living their life. They're just having fun, doing whatever they want to do. And that's the same way it was before the flood with Noah. All right. Eating, marrying, drinking, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Then shall two be in the field. Now get this. It's two people. Now you got to picture two people being in the field. All right. And it's like two shall be in the field, then one shall be taken and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left. All right, so it's two people in the field, and one of them is going to be taken. So the other one is still there. Like, what the heck happened? Just like what we just read in Revelation 9. Or it's like in Revelation 10 or 11. It's like all over the place. Just like we just read in Revelation 11 is what it's talking about right here in Matthew, what Christ is talking about. How there were two, and then one was taken up into a cloud. You understand? Let's drop that. Let's get 1 Thessalonians this time. 1 Thessalonians 4:15. I'm showing you what's going to happen during World War II. Here's what you have to. Here's the good news. Even though we just saw how Sarah Connor got blown away by nuclear missile, you understand? We know that there's a good story behind it. There's good news behind it. You understand? First of all, if you get yourself together, man, if you turn around and say, I'm no longer going to do these things, I'm not going to take that mark of the beast no more. I'm going to shake it off and I'm going to get the mark of God. If you do that, then you might just now. There's no guarantee. Ain't no guarantee for me. Ain't no guarantee for nobody. You understand what side they're gonna be on? They're gonna be the one left in the field, or they're gonna be the one in the cloud. No telling. I pray that I'm in that cloud. You understand? I pray, and I do, and not only do I pray, but I put in the work to show it that I want it. Okay, so the book of where I'm at. Thessalonians. First Thessalonians. First Thessalonians, chapter 4, verse 15. For this we say unto you by the word of 14. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, better yet, and start at 13. The book of Thessalonians, 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 13. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep. Again, going back to the valley of the dry bones and Revelation 10, Revelation 11. You know what I'm saying? Like those brothers that was standing outside called them Gentiles, but who are actually Israelites, who don't know that they're Israelites, who haven't woken up to the truth yet, who are dead. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have that breath of life in them. This is talking again about them that are asleep. All right, but I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. So even though they sleep, even though they don't have hope, even though thermonuclear war is going to get them, You know what I'm saying? And of course, our job is to make sure it's as little of them possible. We don't want our brothers to be taken by no thermonuclear war. So we're going to petition the Lord to change his mind, just like Moses petitioned the Lord to change his mind, just like Abraham petitioned the Lord to change his mind. You understand? But if you know, but the Lord's will, not ours. That's all I can say. You know what I'm saying? But of course, we want all of Israel to be saved. You know what I mean? But even if they not, you know what I mean? Don't sorrow. Right? Verse 14. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Jesus will God bring with him. Like, so even though they sleep, you know what I'm saying? Even though they not here no more, even though they're not in the truth, you understand? Even though they didn't wake up and realize that they're Israelite, they could be woken up. You know what I mean? They could be resurrected in the kingdom. You understand? Just like we die and we get resurrected, just like how Abraham knew that if he lost his son, just like how he got his son from the womb, he can get him back from the womb. You understand? So, for if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so, them also which sleep in Jesus will God bring with him. You understand? So even, and this is parabolic, right? Because it's also talking about those of us that have already died. You know what I'm saying? Knowing the truth. There's brothers that have laid down their sword because they, you know what I mean? The Lord took them. You know what I mean? And guess what? They're going to be right there on them chariots with us. I'm going to show it to you. Verse 15. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. You know what I mean? What does what is the coming of the Lord? This is what you have to ask yourself, man. We're gonna hold this and I'm gonna show it to you. In Amos 5 and 18, the book of Amos, chapter 5 and 18. So we're gonna hold this. We're gonna get Amos, the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. So there's that word. That's the day of the word of the Lord is the coming of the Lord. So woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. What does woe mean? Woe again means destruction. So destruction unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. So you are looking and longing for the day of the Lord. Listen, in the UPK, man, we want that day to come, but at the same time, it's a dark day. It's not glory well, it is glory, but it's not, you know, happy. It's not old happy day. It's not that. It's not singing and tambourine banging. All right, it's war, bombs, destruction. You understand? We know that day is coming, and it ain't pretty. It's not pretty. You understand? So woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. For what end is it to you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, and went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. You understand? That day that's coming. The day of the Lord is not a pretty day, man. So again, in where we at, Thessalonians 4:15, where it says, for this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. You understand? Like we here, you understand? We even though our people, even though some of our brothers have gone, you know what I'm saying, and gave up the ghost, you know what I mean? That's not going to stop them from being redeemed. It's not going to stop them from entering those chariots in the sky and it's not going to stop them from entering the kingdom of heaven. All right, so let's keep reading. For this we say, verse 15, for this we say unto you, verse 16, for the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. And then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord. You understand? So listen, we're going to get caught up into a cloud. And no, we're not going to stay in the cloud forever. All right, let me just break it down to you, right? So it says, with the voice of the Lord and the archangel, with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Again, that's going back to what I was saying. Even the ones that died knowing the truth, you understand? They're going to be up in them chariots. And the chariot he's talking about is in 17. The chariot I'm talking about is in the verse 17. All right. Going up into that cloud is going up into a chariot. Or, for lack of better words, a UFO. An unidentified flying object in the sky. A flying roll like Ezekiel prophesied about. Like what Christ went up into the cloud in. In the same way he went into the cloud is the same way he coming back. This is biblical. Like this is sense. Like this makes sense. Like everything your Christian pastor taught you is a lie. And this is the proof. They don't teach you this in the Bible. They don't even touch Revelation because one, it's too scary to deal with. And two, well, that just means they some bitches. But two, they like I said, it's too scary to deal with, and they don't know what it means. And there's nothing more dreadful than the unknown. There's nothing more dreadful than the unknown to Christians. Thankfully, the water Yahweh Shai, thanks to Commander Yohana, holding on to this truth since 1969 and teaching us the truth about the Bible, breaking down these scriptures and showing us the reality of these scriptures, man. Thanks to that, we know that this is what's coming. You understand? The dead in Christ shall rise first and be put and go into the cloud. Then it says, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the cloud. So they go into the clouds and then we're going to come too. Well, I'm saying we because I hope that is me. I cannot say, who's going to be on the chariot. I'm you know what I mean? I'm not making that distinction. I hope to be on that chariot. I pray to be on that chariot. I've put in the work so that I, can prove to the Lord, so that I can convince the Lord that, I should be on that chariot. You understand? Let's keep going. It says to meet the Lord in the air. So we're going to go up into the sky, go up into these clouds and meet God, and meet Christ. We're going to be there with Christ as he's coming in on that chariot. Then it says, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. So now from that day, the Lord is going to be with us. You understand? It ain't going to be like the Christian church where they say, yeah, I talked to God and he said, and I was going to, and you need to come in. It ain't going to be that. Because that damn pastor, that same pastor telling you what God said is touching little boys and getting swallowed up at the Diddy parties. You understand? And getting high out of his mind and all type of, abominations is going on in his church and churches abroad. So that ain't what this is. That ain't the Lord gonna be with us that he thinks it is. The Lord being with us is we're going to always keep the commandments. We're going to always be blessed in the earth. We're going to have rulership over our enemies. We're no longer going to be under the curses of that the Most High warned us about. You understand? We're never going to have to worry if our children are going to make it home safe because of some cop. You don't have to worry about calling somebody to your house because there's an intruder in your house, and not knowing if you're going to live to see the next day, not because of the intruder, but because of the damn cop you called. Now that we can say, oh, happy day to. But until then, it's nothing but destruction, man. I'm gonna get one more. Maybe I can get one more. Maybe I can get two. Let's go to Zephaniah 1 and 14. All right, the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. The day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wastedness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. You know what I'm saying? This is further proof of what we read in Revelation. Man. Let's drop down. Let me get Isaiah 13 and 6. Isaiah 13. Verse 6. Howl ye for the day. Howl is the word. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand, and it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. All right, Isaiah chapter. Oh, let me read to verse 9. Verse 8. And they shall be afraid, tongues and arrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cool, but both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. All right, this is again talking about World War III, man. That day is coming. It's been being prophesied since the Old Testament, since the prophets of the Old Testament, man. You understand? One more. We at the time, but let me get Jeremiah 46 and 10 real quick, and that'll be the last one. Jeremiah 46, verse 10. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 46, verse 10. For this is the day of the Lord, God of hosts, a day of vengeance, that he may avenge him of his adversaries. And the sword shall devour, and it shall be satiated, which means to be satisfied, and made drunk with their blood. For the Lord God of hosts hath a sacrifice in the north country by the river Euphrates. So like, I gotta get one more just because of that last scripture we read. All right. But yeah, you know what I mean? What was he at? 46 and 10. 46 and 10. You understand? This is the day. It says, for this is the day of the Lord God of hosts, a day of vengeance. He may avenge him of his adversaries. You understand? Like we have adversaries. You understand? The Lord has adversaries. And he's going to avenge himself. He's going to avenge us. He's going to avenge himself of those adversaries, those that hurt Jerusalem, those that ever laid a hand on his children, man. It's going to be avenged. This is all fueling up to the World War III, man. It's all going down. And we read the prophecy. You understand? Where it says their eyes shall consume away in their holes. That's talking about nuclear war, what we just saw on that Terminator movie with Sarah Connor. You understand? Now we're going to see what Christ's big bad ass is going to do. So like you know what I mean? We're going to see what Christ's going to come and do. Christ ain't no weak man. Christ ain't no lily white, timid, scrawny little man, man. Well, I don't know his build, but you know what I mean? He ain't no weak man. You understand? This is a man of war, just like his father. If he and his father are one, if they just alike, in the Bible says that God is a man of war, what the hell you think his son is? You are what your father is, man. If my dad is a damn plumber, I'm gonna probably grow up to be a plumber. My dad is an artist. He like to draw and color and stuff like that. And I do too. I'm an artist as well. I'm just like him. You understand? Let me not waste no more time. Let me get what we at? Revelation 19 and 13. And then we're gonna go. Revelation chapter 19, verse 13. Says, I'm starting at verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. This is talking about Christ. Like I just said, Christ makes war, man, and he judges. What does it mean to judge? Judge, it can be a punishment or a reward, depending on what the case is. Just like any judge. A judge is going to say, if it's a criminal case, you know what I mean, and you're found guilty of that crime, then the judge might say, I sentence you this amount of time in prison or probation, or you got to do this community service, or I sentence you to life in prison to be executed. You understand? All of that. Or the judgment might be if it's a civil suit, the judge might rule in your favor and say, yeah, I rule that you must be paid $10,000, which is a reward, right? That's any judge. That's what it means to judge. And Lord, and Christ is a justice. And Christ is a judge. You know what I mean? And you think that Christ is sitting back on his throne, watching what's happening to his people and saying, well, it means nothing. I'm never gonna, nothing's gonna happen. Who cares? Who cares about that? You understand? No, Christ is gonna, hold on. You understand? Christ is not sitting back, letting stuff slide, man. The day of judgment is coming. All right. What was that at? 13. All right. Verse 12. Verse 12. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and his head were many crowns. Now, that flame of fire, right? You can read about that in Revelation chapter 1. In Revelation 1, it talks about what Christ looks like, and it says his eyes were as a flame of fire. Okay, so you notice it's talking about Christ. And on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. Now, why is his vesture dipped in blood? I would go further into that, but we out of time. So what I will tell you is his vesture is dipped in blood because he's going to be the one doing all of the unaliving, the deleting. Christ is not coming back to redeem everybody. He already did that. He already redeemed Israel. He already died. He already, sacrificed himself for the sins of the Israelites. He already did that. He's not coming back to do that again. This time he's coming back because grace and mercy is over. Grace and mercy and time for being afflicted is all over. Now is the time where it's going to be a war, man. A war for black people to be freed. It ain't gonna be like in Egypt. In Egypt, Moses petitioned the Most High so that he free our people. Well, really, the Most High chose Moses to free his people. You understand? He chose Moses to go into Egypt and free all the Israelites out of Egypt. And the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he wouldn't let it happen, so that God can show his power in Egypt and destroy Egypt. But this time it's going to be even worse. You've seen everything we read. It's going to be utter destruction. It's going to be nuclear bombs and military vehicles and all type of stuff, man. So this ain't no typical thing. This ain't no typical event. And that's how you know that it has not happened yet. We waiting on that day to happen, and it's happening right now. So it's time to get ready, man. Catch Jerry Yohana in Detroit, Michigan. You understand? For the Midwest Fire Weekend happening, I believe that's the first weekend of August, which is, let me see, next week. Damn, this week. Yeah, I believe the events take place from Friday to Monday, if I'm not mistaken. So catch Jerry Yohana out there in Michigan. Let me see if I got. I think I got his lecture right here. August 2nd. Damn, that's in 2 days. Or something like that. That's in 1, 2, 3. That's in 4 days. So Jerry Yohana's lecture is taking place in Detroit, Michigan, August 2nd, 2024. Are demons real? And are they among us? A real conversation with 13th Shield Commander Jerry Yohana from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Located at 1200 355 12355 Gradiate. What that is? Gradiate Ave, Detroit, Michigan. All right, 12355 Gradiate Ave, Detroit, Michigan. All right, so that being said, man, the water for tuning in, and shalom. Y'all Bashem, y'all Shabrak Thumb, y'all Shemar Tabashim, y'all Shah.